we are having our 32nd annual Boy Scout chili supper. For $5, you can have all-you-can-eat chili, bread, and crackers. When you arrive, you come to the door, either purchase your ticket or hand the people at the door your ticket that you bought beforehand, and then you're directed to a table manned by scouts who will then take you and your party through the line, getting you your chili and then your dessert, then taking you to your seat, where you can then tell them what you'd like to get to drink and they will go and get it for you. We have our chili, which I believe is that a secret recipe?
It's a Boy Scout recipe.
It's a Boy Scout recipe, secret or not. That is homemade in several large roasters, I suppose. And then we also have homemade cobblers and cakes, as well as other possibly store-bought cookies as desserts. And we have our bread donated from Jimmy John's? Red pepper.
Tim Flynn's red pepper.
Tim Flynn's red pepper. And we sold about 650 tickets before tonight, and so we'll also expect to get some at-the-door sales. So I'd say compared to most other years, this is doing pretty well. Tickets go towards troop needs, such as buying new equipment as it gets worn out, such as tents and grills for camping. It also can go towards helping scouts pay for adventures such as going to camp, or in the summer we have a high adventure, which usually involves either hiking or canoeing over roughly 50 miles. I think they come out to support us because it's a good program that we do here at Scouts. We offer a lot of opportunities for youth, as well as just it's a good, easy way to donate $5 and get a good meal out of it. My favorite part of the supper would be kind of just that something's always happening. There's very few dull moments. For those who would like to support the Scouts and would still like chili but not necessarily have time to either eat it here or have plans elsewhere, we provide both chili as well as all the other things that would come with your dinner in a to-go form. Also, we like to kind of promote that this is before the Super Bowl, so if you were hoping to have chili at your Super Bowl party, you could come here and get it and store it in the refrigerator, and it'd be good to go the next day. I think that if you're thinking about coming, I think it's a great, easy opportunity to have a great meal and support a great organization at the same time. So the first Saturday in February is our standard date, so mark it on your calendar.
My name is Bill Smoke. I'm the Assistant Fire Chief with the North Liberty Fire Department. We're up at the North Liberty Rec Center doing some recruitment for new applicants for the position of firefighter. The requirements to be a North Liberty firefighter: you need to be 18 years of age or older and live within the city limits of North Liberty or be gainfully employed somewhere in North Liberty. What we are recruiting for right now is the application phase of it, and from here we'll go to the interview phase and then off to that physical. And after that we're looking to start a Firefighter 1 class in August this summer. So that's sort of our timeline with things. We're looking probably around 10 volunteers is what we'd like to have, a class of 10 starting, like I said, in August. The Firefighter 1 training is a credentialing process that covers a lot of different basic firefighting skills and tactics, anywhere from vehicle extrication, getting people out of crashed cars, to structural firefighting, to the basics, how to roll a hose, how to tie a rope, how to start a chainsaw, how to drive the truck. All of those are included in that Firefighter 1 process. From there, all of our new recruits go into a Firefighter 2 class, which sort of takes those skills to the next level. There's a bit more application at that point and a little bit more information on fire code enforcement and that type of stuff. Our time requirement, really, we do have a contract that's based on our EMS training that we give. We send all of our new recruits to some schooling for their EMT basic. And generally, we can do that through Kirkwood Community College. We have also taught that in-house at the fire station, but that is an EMT basic certification, and we will require you to serve our fire department in this community for at least 2 years by contract if we send you off and get that education. So as far as the time commitment to the department, probationary firefighter within your first year, you'll probably on average be spending between 60 and 100 hours a month dedicating your time to the fire department. And that's going to include your training. That will also include taking care of the firehouse a little bit, taking care of the fire apparatus, the trucks, the equipment, and just getting to know the people that you're working with. A probationary firefighter in the firehouse, they're going to be expected to pull their weight by making sure the trucks are looking good, that the equipment is in ready condition and ready to serve whenever it needs to go into action. So they're going to be expected to go to trainings, which is generally once a week. You'll have your Firefighter 1 training, and that time will be dictated by the group of people that you're with. So if Sunday night works best for the majority of your class, you guys will meet Sunday night. On top of that, we have a monthly business meeting, which is the first Wednesday of every month. You'll be expected to come and take part in that fellowship. On top of that, there's a lot of public education events that we expect people to pull their weight in and pitch in. So the probationary firefighter is going to be busy. Being a volunteer firefighter is unlike any other volunteer experience you'll ever have. It is commitment, and you're going to need to be dedicated to the service and to your community. The most common call is the EMS call. Roughly 85% of all of our calls are EMS related. That's why all of us are cross-trained as firefighters and EMT basics. But North Liberty is an interesting town in Johnson County because we have a cross-section of it all here. We see structural firefighting right downtown where we're fighting fire off fire hydrants. We also see structural firefighting out in the country where you might be fighting using portable water tanks, and it's a much different style of firefighting. So it's a little bit, we see a little bit of both worlds. We also have a major Interstate 380 running north and south through the fire district, and we're out there quite often with vehicle accidents, semi-accidents, and things of that nature. We also cover a lot of the calls on this side of the Coralville Reservoir. So we have a boat, we have a jet ski, and in the summer months we'll do a lot of water rescue. We do a lot of ice training rescue this time of year. When it's cold, we have a lot of retention ponds in the city limits of North Liberty, and we want to make sure that our members are proficient on ice rescue. So we really see it all in North Liberty. It's an interesting place to be a firefighter. The North Liberty Fire Department, we've been an all-volunteer fire department since 1945. We cover approximately 60 square miles. We cover the townships of Penn and Madison, and we're a fighting force of roughly 40 individuals. We have 3 chiefs. The fire chief is a paid part-time position. The other assistant chief, who's generally in charge of code enforcement and that sort of stuff, he's also paid part-time. And then myself, I'm a volunteer assistant fire chief. We have captains on the EMS side, we have captains on the training side and the public education side. We have lieutenants under them, and then we have a body of roughly 30 firefighters to support sort of the boots on the ground, so to speak. So that's the structure. That's the square miles that we cover. And last year, I think we ran pretty close to 800 calls, roughly 2 or 3 a day. So it's really a pretty busy, active fire department. So if I don't see you up here at the rec center tonight to give you a physical application, you can visit our website at www.nlfire.org. And from there's a recruitment link that will bring you to the application. You can fill that out online and it will come directly to my station email. I will contact you at that point. We will schedule an interview time and we'll take it from there.
Currently our street shop consists of about 6,200 square feet, and when you're talking about the amount of equipment and tools and supplies we need to store, it's just really not efficient for our folks. So we went out to bid in December for an 18,000 square foot facility. We had 11 bidders, so the climate was great. We had some great participation in the bid process. We awarded that bid to Garland Construction out of Belle Plaine. They were the lowest of the 11 who participated. The total project, as Jerry mentioned, is right around that 2.5 million mark. The street shop itself is going to be about 2.2 or so, with the rest being engineering and a contingency. We're a little bit concerned with some of the soils that are down on our streets campus, so we'll have to pay close attention to that as well. This has been in the plan though for a long time. I mentioned we have about 6,200 square feet currently being used in space. About 2,000 of that, actually less than that, about 1,000 of that will be removed. It's a building that's has lived its life and needs to come down. But the remaining 5,000 or so square feet will be used by our Parks Department. Our Parks and Grounds Department maintains about 300 acres of property within the city, and obviously they need space as well for their facility. So it's going to be a kind of a nice reuse of our existing street shop, and then the boys who plow snow will get a bigger space to operate out of and just be much more efficient. I was going to make the same comment that Jerry did on why it's important to have these to have efficient space and equipment because of some of the efficiencies we'll see, much like the snow plowing. I usually after a long day of snow plowing, I'll get a call from our street superintendent, Don Colony, and he's not as happy and giggly as he usually is. He's a little cranky. But this go around was much different because they were able to shave so much time off of that and actually go back and hit different areas that they might need to touch up on, or in this case, because the wind was blowing so much, go back and re-hit some streets that had drifted over. So it'll be a great project, and we're excited to get that off the ground. We're thinking about a year to complete that project. Another project that you'll see kick off this spring, as Jerry alluded to, is the library expansion project. That's going to be a 10,000 square foot addition to our existing facility. We'll be expanding west and north. We'll also be remodeling our existing facility. We raised about 1.5 million for this, 1.4 million for this project, and I think that's a pretty good feat considering the economic climate we have been in. 700,000 roughly, maybe a little bit more, has come from local folks within this area, and the other 675,000 or so has come from the state of Iowa CAT grant. I think we were probably going to be one of the last projects funded by that program, so we were fortunate to get in on that when we did. The remaining 2 million then will be locally funded by the city, and again, that project is very close to being completed for design, and will be going out for bid in early March, hopefully. Some differences you'll see with this library when it's renovated. Excuse me. We'll have 7 new meeting rooms, which, if you've been around this facility or have tried to get a meeting room here, it can be very difficult. So, meeting room or study rooms for folks. We'll have a teen lounge. We'll have an actual early learning, what we're calling an early learning room for children. We have a periodicals room. Right now we have a little corner where you can read magazines. This will be a whole room to itself. We'll have a cake pan room. If you're familiar with our library, we have over 200 cake pans, I'm told, that will have its own room. And you might ask, well, why in the heck is a library providing cake pans? I don't know how it got started, but it's a very unique feature, and it's a heck of a conversation piece when we're at different conferences and things, because it is noticed across the state, and it's just another unique service that we're providing. Many libraries across the state provide different services, some more unique than others. This one certainly is unique. So, and then another big component of this project is building some adequate office space for our folks. It's important. Obviously, we have a lot of materials come through the library: books, CDs, DVDs, things of that nature. We have to process those and get them out to the shelves. So right now we're working in a very small space. We'll have a little bit more room when this project gets on board. And again, that will go out for bid later this year. Another, changing gears a bit, I want to talk about a policy and a program that the City Council has been currently talking about and considering, and that's a small business assistance program. And that would be in the form of a revolving loan program. The intent with the program is not to compete against banks or other lending institutions, but rather to serve as a gap financer for any folks who are looking to start a small business or expand a small business that may need a little more help financially and can't get it from their bank or don't have the assets to do it. And this would, like I said, would be in the form of a loan, and probably a low interest loan to help these folks kind of move their project forward. We're still in the very early stages of developing this program. The North Liberty Development Group has been and will be active and an active partner. So will the University of Iowa's John Papajohn Center for Entrepreneurial Development. They'll be involved as well. But a lot of times local governments are criticized because folks don't think they do a lot for small businesses. You see a lot in the news about the big business deals. For example, the credit union deal that we've been working on or have worked on, and then you have I know Iowa City's working on some things within their industrial park that are big business type companies, and so you don't see a lot of the small business things. So that's what this council is really trying to focus on. We're just trying to find another avenue to help folks out in the way of a revolving loan program. So those are some of the things we're working on now.
Welcome 2012 Pinewood Derby. Who's excited?
There's wheels and nails for the axles, and so you like cut your block into whatever shape you want it to be in, and then you put like the wheels on and stuff, and you put weight like stick-on weights on it or lead in it, and then you race it.
Car step back there, and then like they push a button and then it goes down, and then they have like things that say first, second, or third on there, on the back I think still, and then they'd stop on the black. Well, it makes it so if you put lead or like weights on the back, it makes it so it goes faster down the ramp. I forget what it is, but you have to have like a weight limit so no other car will win, so they'll have the same weights.
First, to start off, Chief Workington and Lieutenant Venegas, when they spearheaded this idea to put computers in cars, they had three main goals to account for, and the reason is the cost. The cost is pretty substantial. The first was to allow the officers more time on the streets. By putting all this equipment in the car, it saved time from having to go to the office. The second was to give officers the leading technology of what they need to do their job, and that in turn allowed them to be more efficient at what they do. As far as the computer goes, we use that. There's several main programs that we use in there. The first is called TAC-10 Mobile. What that is, that's a program used by every officer in Johnson County and also our dispatch center. That allows us to, dispatch to send us calls, allows us to read the details on the calls without having to put all the information on the radio. Now that we've went to consolidated dispatching, there's a lot more officers trying to talk through a smaller tunnel of dispatchers. So that really took a lot of burden off of the dispatchers on what they needed to do. One of the main things that we can do with that TAC-10 mobile is run driver's license checks and also wanted person checks, just through the computer. That used to we used to have to call in through dispatch, through over the radio, tie up air traffic. We don't have to do that anymore. It also allows us to check our own in-house record system. We keep a lot of things on there that are not kept in the national database, and just check for anything that we need to check for. We can pull old reports, we can do new reports, and that's just a huge benefit for the department. The second program that we use mainly is TRAX. What TRAX is it's no cost to the city. It's supported by the DOT. The DOT does the IT part of it. They load the computers with the program. That's where we do our accidents, we do our citations, we do warnings, deer tags. If a vehicle's hit a deer and someone wanted to take the deer, we can do a deer tag on there, and also our tow sheets. That's an awesome program, and what it does is it allows us to, instead of sending a paper copy to the state of an accident report, we just electronically send it. Hopefully it's a little bit greener for the state. Another program we use on there is our electronic criminal complaints. Instead of handwriting them like we used to on carbon paper, we now just print them out, print enough copies, and take them right to the jail. We can do that right in the car with the printer that's in there. All the cars are equipped with thermal printers, just meaning they don't take ink. They just take special paper, and it works well. Our daily logs, we do daily logs. We do those right in the car, and we're able to print those out. And what that does is allows another officer coming in to see if any problems that we've had or anything throughout the day. So it's real important. Department email, it allows us to get back to someone that's emailing us right away, which is very handy. The official city code, now that that's electronic form, and there's a lot of pages to that, we're able to pull that up in the car. We can do a search on it and pull up a specific code, which a lot of times we get stopped and asked from citizens, hey, they'll ask us a question, now we're able to look it up right away instead of saying, hey, I need to get back to you. The criminal law book, we have that on there. That's very handy. We used to have to thumb through a manual, and it was quite hectic. Barcode scanner, we talked about that a little bit in the car. That saves us time from having to type someone's information in, which makes it very quick. You just scan it on the back of the license. Many states use it, some don't, but it automatically fills that information in there for you, so it's real nice. Great thing with the computers are they were at little to no cost to the taxpayers of North Liberty. Those were actually purchased through a drug seizure that the Johnson County Task Force had, that North Liberty got a chunk of the money. The chief set that money aside a long time ago to upgrade these, to implement the computer, and we were able to use that money. So it was at no, I shouldn't say no, it's a very little cost to the taxpayers of North Liberty. So it's an awesome benefit for the money. The in-car video systems, like we've talked about, upgraded them from VHS to DVR, and the quality, being able to save it onto the server, access to it later it's so much better. We can actually pull it up on any computer in the office and watch a video from a traffic stop that could be 6 months ago, it could be a year ago, depending on how long the video is set to save. We use those to collect any evidence for criminal and civil proceedings. And one of the big factors of that, or one of the great benefits of it, is the civil liability for false accusations against officers. With the clear video, and also the officers wear a little device that's called the body microphone, that allows them to go quite a ways away from the car, and it still records the information that's being said. So it's very beneficial to the city for one, evidence collection, and two, is false accusations. So it's an awesome piece of equipment. How the system works is there's 3 different ways that it's turned on. One, when an officer activates their emergency lights, the recorder automatically starts, and also the body mic automatically turns on. The second way is to manually push the control panel to hit record, and it does the same thing. And the last is the body control mic has a switch on it that if the officer hits that, it automatically activates the camera. So if you're out dealing with somebody and you're like, oh, I better record this, you hit the button and it starts recording. So it's very nice. The videos are actually stored, like we talked about, when we pull into the back lot of the police department, the video connects to this access point that's all that's for, is video, and it dumps it right onto the server, all the video onto the server. That server is kept at the police department, and then a ghost copy of it is saved at the fire department. So there's actually a backup copy in case something happens. If we wanted a copy of it, we can burn that right to a DVD, which is very handy. The cars hold approximately 6.5 hours of video, and we're able to put that right onto a disc, give it to a defense attorney or to the county attorney, whoever needs it. Also for officer to review if they're going to court is very handy. Great thing with that system too is there was a little cost to the taxpayers of North Liberty. North Liberty the police department joined a grant through the Governor Traffic Safety Bureau, in which they give us money to go out and patrol the streets looking for drunk drivers, seatbelt violations, traffic infractions, things like that. So they put this money towards these smaller communities and smaller and larger communities, but and you're also able to buy every year so much money worth of equipment. So we were able to purchase these. That's why it's taken several years to get all the cars updated, because we purchase 2 systems per year, and we're able to implement them. So very little money that it costs the city to put these in, and a great benefit to the department. And we have 3 additions to the police department, 3 additional officers that we've hired over the past year and a half. The first officer is Nate Hayes. He graduated the Law Enforcement Academy in Des Moines in August. He just finished the department's field training program in October, and he's currently assigned to the night shift. The next officer that was hired is Andy Jennings. He started with us November 1st and transferred here from Red Oak Police Department. Andy just finished up his field training with the department and is currently working night shift. Our last officer that we just hired, Cody Jacobson, he started with the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy on January 9th, so he's brand new. He'll graduate in April. Cody previously was employed with the Johnson County Ambulance Service as a paramedic, still currently holds a paramedic license, and he's also the captain at the North Liberty Fire Department. So I'm sure that you've seen him around, and you'll also see these other guys around now that they're starting to get out on the road. They're all 3 great additions to the department.